What's up YouTube, it's your boy Otaku Talks here, and I'm back today with another Kagurabachi video. Today we got a chapter review for Kagurabachi chapter 88. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to stay notified on all my uploads. And also if you like weekly Kagurabachi reviews as well. If you're a returning viewer, like the video, comment, share, do everything that you're already doing. With that being said, chapter 88 is called The First Step. You're then greeted with Izaru asking, where's the Hishaku? For those of you who didn't read chapter 87 or you didn't watch my latest video, go check that out right now. But Izaru is currently on the force field level, which is level 6. Izaru then asks, where's the Hishaku? The guy who is responsible for the force field says 5 of them on the west wing, 5th level. You can see it in Izaru's face. He's royally pissed off. And he's like, we went through all the trouble of giving them the threat elimination zone to fight, to go all out so they're not destroying the building. But he then assesses the situation and says we have no choice. And he wants to contact the elite troops, and his plan is to surround the Hishaku. And on this panel, it seems that we get a preview of the elite troops that he's talking about. We've already seen 3 out of the 6, hence that why they're not silhouetted. The guy who is holding up the force field is more worried about identifying the informants. But Izaru then says there's no time to waste, so we'll issue the command and watch how they behave. Lower ranking members are still ordered to remain in place, and the elite forces ask the guy who's holding the force field. And Izaru tells him, we'll attack towards the west and keep them from the center. If it's alright, if there's some damages to the building, whatever it takes. We have to eradicate the Hishaku. We then jump back to level 5 with Hakuri and Mr. Uraha. Yura is surprised to see Mr. Uraha still alive as he's supposed to be dead, but then he realized Mr. Sumura double-crossed him. Mr. Uraha then asks Hakuri is he able to fight, and Hakuri responds with, yeah, sort of, somewhat, Mr. Uraha, I just got out of surgery and all. I can cast ISO every so often, but I just use a string of strong spells, so I need to rest. I can still transport, but all of the things I registered in the past have been reset. And what a great summary we get from Hakuri here, as now we know what he's currently capable of. Even though we did see him use his sorcery earlier on, it's good to establish what he can and can't do with his storage house. Mr. Uraha then thinks to himself, there's 7 enemies in front and in back. I'll need to stay close to the boy. I'll protect him and destroy him at the same time. Mr. Uraha must be that guy if he thinks he's able to protect a kid that's not on the same skill level as them and fight 7 enemies all at the same time. We then see one of the lackeys just get completely chopped in half. And what's even crazier about this is that they got chopped in half through the ceiling and we don't even see the blade sliced through. Mr. Uraha is surprised, but Yura doesn't seem to be moved. We then see a couple more slices happening on the ceiling, and a perfect square drops from the floor above onto the guy who was just chopped in half. And out comes Kiri. I'm sure we've seen Kiri before. I just can't put my finger on which chapter specifically. Then she greets Mr. Uraha, but without the formal greeting, and she thought Mr. Uraha was dead, as Sakuri thinks to himself in the background that she didn't even call him Mr. Then we get an intro for Miss Kiri. Mr. Uraha introduces her by saying that she's the granddaughter of the creator of the pure white style, the style that Mr. Uraha uses, the style that Mr. Sumura uses, and also the style that Chihiro also adopted. So currently we have 4 people who know how to use this sword stance. And this is going to be the main stance going forward, especially with our protagonist using it. I think it just gives the author a good excuse to draw, what's the word I'm looking for? Unorthodox sword holding. And I think the unorthodoxy of it gives it creativity as far as for the author, because you don't really have to sit here and draw the typical sword stance. You can just freestyle it pretty much. Then we get some lore with Mr. Uraha saying that Shirakai sensei left him half dead 4 times. So if this guy was the teacher of Mr. Uraha and Mr. Sumura, then he has to have a claim for top strongest in the verse, no? Well, not specifically top strongest, but one of the strongest people in the verse, I would say. And then we see that Kiri and Mr. Uraha really go way back, as Mr. Uraha and Mr. Sumura used to babysit her when she was a child. But to Mr. Uraha's knowledge, Shirakai sensei is currently missing. And he says, I'm bored of fighting people. Maybe I'll fight a bear. A big bear. Mr. Uraha then thinks that maybe he's in the wilderness or something. And Kiri then comes in and says that she texts her granddad often. And Hakuri says that, wow, she's a nice grandchild for texting her granddad. But she's only being nice until she's at the time where she can kill him. And the reason why she wants to kill him is, I guess, because her grandpa is a male chauvinist. I mean, which kind of makes sense. Grandpa comes from a different time with a different culture. So at least when it comes to swords, I may say. Because he says swords are for men. And scrawny little arms like your woman arms are weak, and you will die in no time. So to prove herself, Kiri wants him alive and kicking so she can kill him and prove him otherwise. And the Hishaku are just standing there. They're all thinking the same thing that we're thinking. How are these people having a conversation right now with nobody attacking them? It's currently a 3-on-7 and these guys are just lollygagging and reminiscing about old times. Get in there and fight! What are you doing? Your life is on the line here, people. Hurry up, pronto, pronto. After Mr. Urahara properly introduces Kiri to Hakuri, someone finally decides to attack from behind. And I kid you not, mid-conversation, Mr. Urahara notices the person sneaking up behind them and does a jump kick, sending them through the wall. And I guess that little dialogue there was to show to the audience that these are supreme fighters and they will not be taken lightly. And something like a sneak attack will definitely not work. Then Mr. Urahara activates his sorcery. And this part of the sorcery is called Kion, or the Crimson Reticle, and I'm sure this has some type of effect on his situational awareness or perception. The Hishaku then responds with sorcery of their own, being Mako, or Demon Bite, and these seem like just giant beast summons. As one of these giant beasts fill up the hallway, and it looks like as it's about to eat Mr. Urahara, he gives Kiri a command to look after Hakuri. And after being attacked twice, Mr. Urahara says he's gonna go on the offensive. He slices directly through the Mako summon and charges straight at the Hishaku. Yura then pulls his own sword from a book, kinda on like some Asta Demon Slayer type. LOL, not Demon Slayer, my bad. Black Clover. Mr. Urahara and Yura clash swords. And as Yura thinks to himself, his speed is intimidating, but he lost the destructive force he had before. His power is enabling him to fortify one ability at a time. So it seems like Mr. Urahara traded off his power for speed here. And this is a smart move as he is facing 7 opponents right now. Urahara then hits Yura with a bit of trash talking, saying, "Impressive. Coming out to do your own dirty work? Did you run out of tricks to kill the sword bearers?" Yura then says, "We're running out of time. I'd appreciate you not getting in the way." One of the Hishaku lackeys then tells Yura that more are coming. Mr. Urahara then politely reminds them where they are, in the beehive, in the belly of the beast. Yura then says, "True. In this place, there are all sorts of people. Our job is to create momentary confusion, nothing more." And we see Yura and the Sword Master share the same black eyes and the same markings. So I'm sure we can safely assume that Mr. Yura and the Sword Saint are the same person. Because Mr. Urahara notices the black eyes and then says, "You." Then Yura, or the Sword Saint, well here when his eyes are white, he's back to Yura. So we could assume that the Magasumi, we can just assume that this is a product of the Magasumi, and more specifically the malediction. But right now it's just crackpot theories on it because we don't officially know. But that would be fun for a future video to cook up a theory about the Magamutsu or the Magasumi and the malediction. But for now, let's stay on chapter 88. And Yura says that we have a card, the death match. And I'm gonna just assume based off of what Yura said is that people are going to flood to this area and they're all going to fight each other. And we also don't know for a fact who's on what side currently. So it seems like it's just going to be an all-out brawl until Samura and Chihiro get there. We then see one of the beasts take a chomp out of the building right next to Hakuri. Kiri then says, "Take a step back," as she puts her hand in the AI purity style, signaling next chapter we're going to watch them fight. Which is pretty cool in my opinion, as I love the introduction of new characters and seeing what they could do. Well, that's been it for chapter 88. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you made it all the way through the video, thank you, as you didn't have to. And until next time, it's been Otaku Talks.